Now that I've taught you how to open and close and take care of your glue bottle properly, I am going to show you how to use baby dots of glue. Okay, we call that dot dot not a lot, baby dots of glue. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up. I'm going to make sure that the orange cap goes away from the white cap. That tells me it's open. I'm going to listen for it to breathe. So I know it's working. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a dot. Now who can tell me, what do you think dot dot not a lot is? Oh my goodness, uh-oh, I wasn't paying attention. Look at that. Now if I pick that up, would you say that's a lot of glue or just dot dot not a lot? You're right, that's a lot of glue. So if I flip this over and I press down, and what most students do at this point, yeah, that's not okay. Look at all that glue, all that extra. So I have students where I see students who are doing this, where they take this. Oh no, now what do we do with this? Uh-oh, I've made a mess. So we go over and we take a piece of paper, or we take a paper towel. We get a paper towel from the paper towel rack. Now obviously this isn't one, but oh my gosh, we do this. And then we start doing this. Uh-oh, oh my goodness, it lifted up. And we do this, and we try and wipe that. Now, tell me, is that going to look pretty when we're all done? Probably not. We probably could make that look a little bit neater. So when we do dot, dot, not a lot, take a look at this one here. Now, I'm going to control how much I press, and I am going to just do my baby dots of glue. What can you tell me about these dots of glue? One, they're small. What else could you tell me? Are they towards the edge of the paper? They're not, right? They're not right on the edge. So if I were to take one piece like this, and I were to still use baby dots of glue, but I put those baby dots of glue on the edge of my paper, what do you think is going to be the difference between this piece of paper and this piece of paper? Let's find out. If I take this piece of paper and I turn this paper over and I glue down and I press down, are we seeing any glue come out? We are not. What do you think is going to happen with this one? I'm going to take that, I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to press down. And you see how we have some glue leaking out. You can see where the paper has kind of gotten wet. Now I want to show you a different type of gluing. Notice these are all small pieces. Well, what if I were to use a long, skinny piece? And again, if I'm not paying attention and I use big, this is called a bead of glue. If I use a big bead of glue, now let's go back over here. There's my bead of glue. Here's my baby dots of glue. Who can tell me what the difference is between those two? So we have baby dots and we have a bead of glue. Can anybody guess what's going to happen when I turn this rectangle, this yellow rectangle over? Is that going to be nice and neat? Is it going to stay inside the lines? All right, well, let's find out. I'm first going to flip this one over to get this one out of the way. Press down. And I'm going to do this one. Oh, this one's going to be really messy. Uh-oh. It's even kind of hard to pick up and flip over. And then what happens if I do this and like, oh, well, where's it going to go? And I don't know where it's going to be. And look at what starts to happen. We start dripping glue everywhere, and oh my gosh, look at that. Oh, it almost looks like melted marshmallow. And if I press down, not only do my fingers get messy, my paper gets all gloppy. If I try and use a paper towel, I've had students try and clean up using a paper towel, but then we get all sticky and glue gets on the table and it just becomes a big mess. I'm just going to stick that to the side. Now I want to show you how to use a bead of glue properly. So again, controlling my glue, not that means I'm not squeezing this glue bottle very hard. And you know what? If you close the glue bottle a little bit and don't have it, when you open it all the way, that means this top is wide open. Look at this. Look at that top. I'm going to take that little bit of glue off the top there. Like I showed you before in the last video, sometimes glue gets stuck up there. So can you see that up there? See how wide that top is? Well, look what happens as I start to close it. I'm hoping you can see this happening. Am I going in the wrong direction? I'm going in the wrong direction. Am I going the wrong? Nope, I wasn't going in the wrong direction. So if I continue to twist the glue bottle, you're going to notice there's going to be like a little white dot that comes up. Oh, do you see that? That's actually not glue. That's the plastic inside to stop the glue. So if I just have this open up just a tiny bit, where I still kind of see the white inside, then that will tell you that it's open it's not open all the way. See that there? It's just open a little bit. So if you open it all the way, it's going to come out really quick. If you close it a little bit, it'll come out a little bit smaller. But even if I have it open all the way, I can still make a tiny bead. So watch this. I'm going to take my glue, I'm going to set the orange cap down, and I'm going to just very carefully make a small bead of glue. Do you see the difference? Now notice I put that inside the rectangle, and I'm going to flip this over, and when I press down, is there any, oh, I did. I had some glue leakage at the top. What does that tell me? That maybe I added a little too much glue closer to the edge. Maybe my glue should have started down here a little bit more. It's a little closer to the edge. So what I want you to do right now, you're all going to get a piece of paper. I want you to find a piece of scrap paper, and I want you to take your glue bottle, and I want you to practice, I'm going to set this aside, I want you to practice making baby dots of glue. So see if you can't make baby dots of glue so that you're not making really big globs. And sometimes you can just go down and see how tiny you can make your dots. So just do a couple of them and see if you can make your dots baby dots. Then I want you to practice making a bead. One other thing I wanted to share with you, and I wanted you to know, or notice I should say, is look at the pieces of paper here. Which papers did I use for my dots of glue, and which papers did I use for my beads? Notice my smaller papers, I use dots to glue down. If I have a long skinny rectangle, then I might use a bead of glue. So if you have larger pieces of paper, then a bead of glue might be better. If you have smaller pieces of paper, then a dot of glue might be best. Once you have your glue down, keeping it inside, I'm going to have you glue it down onto another piece of paper, and we're going to see how well you created your baby dots of glue and your bead of glue. And you're going to press down, and I'm hoping that we're not going to find any glue leaking. So that's what you're going to practice doing. How do you make a proper baby dot of glue, dot, dot, not a lot, and a bead of glue, the right size. So get your papers out and go ahead and practice. Show me what you have when you're done, and then you'll be able to start gluing with your project.